You are welcome here, just the way you are. No more hiding tears, no more covering scars. You are welcome, holy welcome. You are welcome here, just the way you want to be. Bring your deepest hopes and all your wildest dreams. You are welcome, holy welcome, holy welcome.
Good morning. I am Sue Fulmer, Secretary of the Core Council at CSL St. George, and I'm really enjoying my practitioner studies as a practitioner in training. One more year. Thank you for joining us. It's my privilege to lead you in meditation today. Yesterday, our practitioners hosted a wonderful peace meditation and labyrinth walk, and I'm still vibrating from that beautiful spirit there. And I'd like to share some of that feeling in the meditation today to start with. So take a deep breath and get yourself settled and contemplate on these words. Contemplate peace. Radiate peace to the whole planet. Send a wave of peace to all people, to all life. I'm going to take some thoughts from a small but awesome book by Ernest Holmes titled This Thing Called You, chapters 7 and 8. I'll read a couple of sentences and then pause for our contemplation. There is nothing in me which can obstruct the divine pattern. I know that every organ, action, and function of my being is acting in accord with the law of universal harmony. All doubt, fear, confusion, or uncertainty is cast out of my mind. I surrender all fear, all doubt. I let go of all uncertainty. I know there is no confusion, no lack of confidence. I know that what is mine will claim me, know me, rush to me. And I accept the gift of life for myself and for everyone else. God is right where I am. The divine is what I am. And all the divine has is mine now. I enter into the conscious possession of all this divine allness, this universal bounty, this perfect reality today, right here, right now. I know that it is manifesting in my life. The freedom of God is my freedom. The power of the Creator is my power. The presence is with me. The one mind is my mind. The strength of God is my strength. Its joy is my joy. New conditions are always being created for me. Conditions of harmony, happiness, peace, and joy. All circumstances and situations are being harmonized. Wherever I go, I shall meet peace, peace, peace. I find joy and happiness. Whatever I do shall be done with reason and intelligence. I shall be surrounded by friendship, by beauty, by right action. My whole being responds to this conviction. I know that I am one with universal intelligence. I know that spirit in me is perfect. I know that my real nature is spiritual. I know that I exist in a boundless good, in a heavenly state, and in perfect being. I know that my mind is being acted upon by pure spirit. Divine intelligence guides me into peace. Divine intelligence guides me into happiness and success. Divine intelligence guides me into joy, love, and perfect life. I carefully guard my thought. I refuse to permit anything antagonistic or unlovely to enter my consciousness. I am learning to live in joy, in peace, and in calm confidence. I am putting my whole trust and faith in the good. I know that all the power there is for me. I put on the whole armor of faith. I am free spirit. I am perfect life. I am in conscious union with the divine who is right where I am. Right here, right now. Remember, you are never alone. Namaste.
You are welcome here, just the way you are. No more hiding tears, no more covering scars. You are welcome, holy welcome. You are welcome here, just the way you want to be. Bring your deepest hopes and all your wildest dreams. You are welcome, holy welcome, holy welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Chris McCardle here. Welcome. We're delighted to have you here with us today. On behalf of Centers for Spiritual Living, I do welcome you, and I inform you that we're an open, loving, and inclusive community. We support thinking creatively, and living a deeply spiritual life. Now listen to those words, because that's what we do for sure. So, our vision that we hold at Centers for Spiritual Living is a world that works for everyone. Think about that too. It's quite the challenge to have for a vision, to see a world that absolutely works for everyone. So our team today, actually I am the host. The slides were changed. Our tech behind the scenes is Marina Anderson, and our lovely meditation that was held this morning by Sue Fulmer, and she will also be doing the reading in just a moment. And our music is by the lovely Shay Barlow, and our invocation will be by Star Starrett, RScP, which stands for Religious Science Certified Practitioner, in case you were wondering. And Stef Swink, also a practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living, will be our guest speaker. She always definitely gives us a good talk, so I'm looking forward to what Steph has to say today. So I believe it is time where the music shall begin, and that's when we bring in Shay Barlow, the one and only. Hello, darling.
Good morning. Hi, honey.
Go take it away, girl.
You betcha. So I'm going to go through this song. This is an original song, and I just invite you to listen to the words the first time through, and then Star will magically appear, and she will pray us in, and then the lyrics will come on the screen, and we will sing together. Here we go. Take heed, my soul, you are wiser than you know. Sent to worship plain and true. The source of my delight may be hidden from sight. Moments of faith come through. Aim high, be brave. Let the soul have its way, reveal, refine, live with a unity divine. Take heed, my soul, the common heart is whole, the answer in words unknown. The truth will be perceived by the soul that can believe and call the light its own. Aim high, be brave, let the soul have its way, reveal, refine, live with a unity divine.
Good morning, CSL St. George. I invite you to just take a deep breath. And in that breath, there is an allowance, a divine allowance of the one mind that moves in, through, for, and as all that we see, do, and perform. And in this, there is a revealing that is happening worldwide. Not just on what we don't want, but also our soul is revealing itself to us right here and right now. And the energy of happiness is there, energy of joy, the energy of being right-minded, the the energy of being in receivership of that divine mind that is moving all things to make way for happiness. Happiness that we have longed for, that we have missed for a long time, is present right here and right now in this one mind. And in this service today, there is wonderful messages coming through in service to humanity here on this planet. Embrace it. Embrace it within thee. For you are one. We are one. And so we send this beacon of light out to the world, knowing all is well and all is magnificently taken care of. As together we say yes. Yes to life. Yes to infinite intelligence, moving life. Yes to joy. Yes to feeling at home within. As together we say, and so it is.
So it is. Take heed, my soul, you are wiser than you know. Ascend to worship plain and true. The source of my delight may be hidden from sight. Moments of faith come through. Aim high, be brave. Let the soul have its way. Reveal, refine. Live with the unity divine. Take heed, my soul, the common heart is whole. The answer in words unknown. The truth will be perceived by the soul that can believe, and call the light its own. Aim high, be brave, let the soul have its way. Reveal, refine. Live with the unity divine. And now we're thrilled to welcome back Sue Fulmer to do our sacred reading.
Thank
Hi,
you,
Sue.
Shay. Oh, you should have seen my dog's face. She was right with you with that song, just paying
That's so
attention. Yeah, she felt it. So we have this covenant that we have read and was written months ago for our search for the perfect right minister. As we read it today, I want you to keep in mind the name of Minister Joe Kobach. Reverend Joe is in negotiations with our core council, and we're so close to hopefully making an announcement that we have found that perfect minister that loves us, and he does with all his heart. So as we read together, think of this being fulfilled. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life, I know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which include the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God, I therefore know that my new minister reveals wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which we believe. For it is written, let us learn to draw the divine substance down into our own lives, and as freely as it has been given to us, let us give it to others. Thus alone shall we be made whole. By Ernest Holmes. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as growing the center in joy and prosperity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing the truth about myself. For I live the presence and law of God. I demonstrate wisdom through a mature understanding of the wholeness of life. I am accountable and willing to take full responsibility for my actions. I participate in and support the nurturance and guidance of the community. I act from wholeness and congruence in thought, word, and action. I walk the talk. Here, express your own personal truth about our wonderful new minister. I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, knowing that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Sue. So we are, this year, 2022, we are living everyday wonder. The month of May, the focus is emotions. And this week's talk title is, If You're Happy and You Know It. If you're happy and you know it. It's handy to know when we're happy, right? It probably increases it tremendously. And Glenna Doyle agrees. She says, I'm going to quit chasing happiness long enough to notice it's smiling right at me. Ernest Holmes offers this beautiful affirmation. He said, the power which creates and sustains everything is now creating everything necessary to my happiness. And this is a song that reminds us that when we have something and we give it away, it becomes even more than it was in the beginning. And this, I love singing this with y'all in person, so I figured we could do it on our own. So please feel free to sing along. Happiness is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Happiness is something if you give it away, then it comes right back to you. It's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't get any. Lend it, spend it, give it away, then it comes right back to you. A hug is something if you give it away, give it away, you gotta give it away. A hug is something if you give it away, then it comes right back to you. It's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't get any. Lend it, spend it, give it away, then it comes right back to you. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, you give it away. Love is something if you give it away, then it comes right back to you. Oh, it's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't get any. Lend it, spend it, give it away, then it comes right back to you. Oh, it comes right back to you. It'll come right back to you. Okay.
But
All right, Chris.
I was singing. I was definitely singing, Cheryl.
I could hear you in my head, buddy.
Oh, good, good. Well, you don't want to really hear me in my head or hear me singing in your head. That wouldn't be good. Anyway, right now it's time for our guest speaker, Stef Swink. She is a practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living. And I think we're blessed to have her here on Sundays talking with us. I've loved every talk so far, and I look forward to today. So, Stef, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you teach us your magic.
Thank you so much, Chris. Teach us your magic. Well, boy, am I just delighted when I saw that I get to speak on this Sunday about happiness. You could ask anybody that knows me, and they would probably say, yes, they agree with my self-assessment that I am a happiness advocate. In other words, I'm a big fan, and I'm constantly working with my clients to navigate through their belief systems in such a way that happiness can have more time in their awareness, in their experience, and in their relationships. So it's always a delight to be here with this incredible spiritual community. One of these days, I'm going to get in my car here in Colorado and drive that beautiful drive out to see you and visit with you in person. This is, I don't know, I think my 4th or 5th time being with you virtually. And each time when the group gets together, there's just such a sensation of genuineness and friendship and love. And so it's a happy experience for me to be with you. And so you can imagine with the talk title being, if you're happy and you know it, if you're anything like me and you have a tendency to have songs get stuck in your head, that's a good one. If you're happy and you know it, the nursery rhyme. We're going to come back to that. I loved that I had some of it memorized and some of it I had to look up and explore. And what an affirmative, incredible thing. All kids should be singing it. All adults should be singing it. So again, we'll come back to that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this whole idea of happiness. And I've had this experience in all these 23 years now that I've been working with people as a spiritual counselor, that there's been a theme that has come up time and again, and I'm sure it's reflective of my own consciousness, my own challenge that I sometimes bump up against around happiness, is that it can almost feel, with all that's going on in the world, that it can almost feel trite or even selfish to say, well, I just want to be happy. And I know not everyone can relate to what I'm saying here, but if you watch the news or you have any awareness of what's going on in the world and you have access to visuals and different things about what is going on with so many of us right now and struggling to essentially just survive. And right now it's especially challenging for me and for many of us to be witness to what is so prevalent on the news around war and the atrocities that human beings can inflict on one another. And so to see that and to bear witness to the suffering of others can sometimes have one particular client I'm thinking of that we recently had a deep dive into this around her actually feeling somewhat ashamed about how good her life is. How can I have it so good when so many others are suffering? And one of the things I want to explore with you today is the power that our own happiness has to affect those who are suffering. So we'll get a little bit more into that in just a few minutes, but I want to pause here and do this thing that I always do, which is to look at the true meaning and the definition of happiness. So it may seem obvious, but I love definitions for the way that just really brings it home. So here's the one for happiness: a state of well-being and contentment. A state of well-being and contentment, also known as joy. And another definition is a pleasurable or satisfying experience. And so once again, if we go back to this idea that happiness can impact not only ourselves and our well-being, but around the lives of others, it's really important to consider that it's actually a selfless thing, ultimately, to nurture and experience and create our lives in such a way that happiness is an emotion and an experience that we can have more often than its contrary. There's some other benefits about happiness. Of course, I had to do my research. I love being a religious science or science of mind practitioner and bringing in ideas around studies and different things that are done to support what we are exploring in consciousness. So here you go. Here's some additional benefits of happiness. Proven health benefits of happiness are improved heart health, the ability to combat stress more effectively. It helps ease stress and anxiety and depression. So that seems obvious, but that's a powerful one. It creates and supports a stronger immune system. It helps reduce pain, literally physical pain, and increases longevity. So if those weren't enough motivators to look at your life and do a little reading for yourself. How much time do I spend experiencing this definition of happiness? How much time do I actually live in a state of well-being and contentedness? And hopefully you have a lot of that. I feel very blessed that I do. And so if you notice that that seems to be something that is maybe less prevalent than you would like, I'll bring these things in. Perhaps you're actively engaged in some activities or behavioral patterns that do not support happiness. This list really got my attention. This one in particular, because it's springtime in the Rockies, and so it's actually hard to be indoors for me. That's not true for everyone. So one of the number one reasons that we limit our experience of happiness is by staying indoors, especially if we stay indoors and isolate ourselves. The other thing that can affect our level of happiness access is lack of sleep or lack of regular sleep. And what was the other one? Oh yes, chronic inactivity. And these three are a combination of research that I've done in my own personal assessment of what robs us of happiness. Distraction, over busyness, and too much screen time. And so I just bring that in to support you in noticing, how's your sleep pattern? How's your diet? How's your interaction with other people? Do you have time in your life where you allow the sun to touch your skin? Are you outside? And if not, then these are some easy ways to support yourself in cultivating and nurturing an experience of pleasure and satisfaction in your life. So in alignment with that, I was thinking about that experience that this one particular client was struggling with, about feeling guilty about being happy. And I told you at the beginning of this talk that I feel often like I'm a happiness advocate. And that is because I deeply, deeply believe in my heart and soul that in this light of this idea about oneness, let's go there. So this idea of oneness, that we are all connected, that there is a vibration that we emanate when we are happy, when we are nurturing our well-being, and when we are allowing ourselves to not only experience it, but express it. And I love that. I found an author and a teacher by the name of Deborah King, and she says it this way about the energy of happiness. When the mind is thinking positive thoughts and the heart is producing high-level emotions like love and joy, they create an energy that is transmitted into this universe. This wave will travel infinite distances. Take that into consideration. Infinite distances, even to the other side of the world where people are suffering. And it will not only attract things that are vibrating at a similar energy, but this is my favorite part. Lower frequencies will be raised up through resonance. And this is why I'm a happiness advocate. This is why I am a big fan of joy. because we may feel oftentimes that we're powerless to the struggles and the strifes and the issues and the challenges that are so in our face in the world at this time. But here's the amazing thing, that we can actually transmute and transcend and uplift the struggle and the strife simply by this act, by choosing to experience, to look for, and be grateful for the things that bring us pleasure and joy. And one of the most easy and immediate ways to bring joy and happiness to ourselves is just like the song. Always, the songs are so perfect. I'm laughing when I'm backstage when the songs begin, because it's like, oh, so perfect. So thank you for that. So it's like that shiny penny. When we give it away, it amplifies and it comes back to us. So now back to the nursery rhyme. If you're happy and you know it, most of you, I'm sure, know what comes next. Clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. And I love this one. I didn't know the rest of it, so I had to look it up. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. Move it through your body. Express it physically. And continues this way, then your face will surely show it with a smile. And if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. The beauty of the power of this affirmative, beautiful nursery rhyme. So it just is such a teaching that brings us right into not only this philosophy, but the whole idea of oneness and connection to each other, whether we know each other or not. And so one of the quotes that I was going to share with you, Shay shared before the song, but I'm going to repeat it because it's worth repeating, by our founder, Ernest Holmes. The power which creates and sustains everything is now creating everything necessary to my own happiness. So whether or not you're experiencing challenges in any area of your life, there's another saying that happiness is a choice. That can seem frustrating if you're struggling or you're experiencing physical challenges or financial or relational issues and your heart is hurting, or your heart is hurting for the struggle that you witness other people going through. So I'm going to go back to another list that I found. I love this one. Oh, let me back up and say another quote from Ernest Holmes, which is a great segue here. Ernest Holmes says this: "Let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. Let us waste no more time searching for it, because already the door is open, and whosoever will may enter." So everything is available to us, and the power of consciousness is so incredible. So how do we enter? How do we really make the decision, especially if we've got some challenges going on or we're hurting in one way or another? Here's some ideas, some daily habits that increase happiness. Smile. I've got a little story to share with you towards the end of my talk here about the power of smiles. Exercise. Here again, get plenty of sleep. I love this one. Be generous. That one is a powerful one. I know that when I tithe or when I give a gift in some other way, it brings me tremendous joy. So be generous. Be grateful. That's an obvious one. The power of a gratitude practice cannot be understated, not only for nurturing our consciousness to bring more of that to us, but it also, once again, gratitude impacts those around us. Give a compliment. This is another form of generosity. Give a compliment. Breathe deeply. And these aren't on this list I found online, but they're so obvious I have to add them. If you want to cultivate more happiness, if you want to enter in through that door into that realm of consciousness where everything is already available to us, then do your spiritual practice. Meditate and pray. My meditation lately has moved outside. We have pretty short springs and summer seasons here in the Rocky Mountains. And so I'm spending my meditation time outdoors. No need for insight timer because the birds are singing. So cultivate your spiritual practice. Commit to that. And finally, this one surprised me in a delightful kind of way, because again, I found this through Psychology Today online about daily habits that cultivate happiness. And this one, acknowledge the unhappy moments. Interesting. Acknowledge the unhappy moments as a way to cultivate happiness. And again, here's something that I'm a huge fan of. Not to linger or continue to spout and talk about, and you don't want to really nurture and keep in play the unhappy moments. But by simply acknowledging them and saying, yes, this hurts right here. This experience hurts. What happens then is that acknowledgement and that self-honesty or honesty with another person creates an opening, a healing, and more room for the genuine experience of happiness to occur for you. So one of the ways to happiness is to acknowledge unhappy moments and then keep the circulation going and notice what you're grateful for. All right, so I'm going to go back to what I spoke about earlier about the power of a smile. And I'm going to ask you, each one of you who's with me today or who watches this somewhere down the line, are you willing to be a happiness advocate or an agent? That one's fun. My husband said that this morning. He's actually said that about me. He said, you're like an agent for happiness, which is a great thing. But I wonder if you're willing to consider the power that you have as an individual to raise up the vibration on a planetary scale by doing the simplest things, such as we just spoke of. Give a compliment to somebody. If you notice a complete stranger is wearing something that's not as deep, but somebody looks good, say, oh, that's a beautiful blouse. Or you have a beautiful smile. Or just simply smile at them and watch what happens. It's contagious. Being a happiness advocate can also look like simply choosing to be present. Put down your phone, turn away from all the distractions, and really be present with yourself and with those you love, maybe people you live with, your friends. Really be with them. That's a way to be a happiness agent. And there's another one that I practiced this morning with my husband. Sitting outside, I asked him to join me, and he did. He put his phone down, and he came outside, thank you God. And I asked him, what makes you happy? What brings you a sense of well-being and contentment? And of course, many of them were familiar, but he actually shared a couple that I hadn't considered before. And so I made a pledge to myself to support him in having more opportunities for those experiences. So maybe you can do that. Ask someone you love what makes them happy. And so I'm going to conclude today with this this beautiful image. I'm going to just go ahead and ask you to bring up that slide that I sent you this morning. Can you make that big for me? Look at that. Maybe some of you have seen this before. This is an image, or two images here. It was an 18-year-old student from Chicago. Her name is Shay Glover. And she was doing a project for school. And she wanted to photograph things that she found beautiful. And she didn't intentionally set out to have what occurred occur necessarily. But this is what happened. And it's a slideshow. You can find it online. I really encourage you to do it. It's just incredible because it's a video. But this image captures what happened. She would ask random people if they would pose for her for this project she was doing for school. And then she would say to them, she would take one picture and then she would say to them what was behind her project. And this was what she'd say. She said, I'm taking pictures of things I find beautiful. And the second image is the picture that was taken right after her saying that. So look at the difference in the energy there. Simply by her saying to this person, I'm taking pictures of things and people that I find beautiful. And it is that simple. Look at the radiance on her face. I just love this. And so I've made a commitment that I don't know the number yet, but maybe I'll just make one up now. I think I'll push it 5 times a week, once a day, Monday through Friday. I'm going to tell somebody that they're beautiful and watch their face light up. Are you willing to do the same? I hope so. And so that's my invitation to you. I'm going to close with a little prayer with you today, because I love to do that. My invitation to you is this: recognize your own beauty. Recognize it in the people and the natural world around you. Allow yourself to feel that level of contentment and joy, even in the slightest moments, with the simplest things. And then clap your hands, stomp your feet, and shout hooray, and let the whole world feel it, because it will. So let's close together in prayer. And so I'm just so deeply grateful to be together with these beautiful souls today and into the future, whenever anyone connects to this talk and to this prayer. And what I know is that there is a power here that is amplified by our sharing, by our choice collectively to uplift the energy upon this entire planet, by choosing, by cultivating, and by spreading and sharing happiness. And so I just recognize that through this invitation and through this agreement, there is a great surge of the power of happiness and joy on this planet. It touches each one of us, all those we love, and in this very moment is moving through the fabric of humanity, moving into places where there is an experience of fear or suffering of any kind. And I know absolutely that by choosing to recognize the beauty of life and to feel the joy that comes with that there is a change. There's a change that is happening. There's an upliftment, and there's no going back. So my heart is filled with gratitude for the way in which this prayer and these ideas and these lives right here, right now, are impacting me and each one of us. And so I just let go in gratitude now, just trusting that Spirit knows what to do and is doing it. And I celebrate happiness, my own and yours, and simply let it be. And so it is. Namaste.
So it is.
So it is.
Oh, well, that was a depressing talk.
Chris, you cracked me up. Yeah, make people laugh. I love it. You're very good at that.
I know it. Really, that's one of my big things that makes me happy. I love to make people laugh. I love to just be my weirdness, and I love to shock people into laughing at me. So.
Well, that works.
It does. It totally does.
It.
Lots of great stuff today. Thanks again. I love that. We send it out and it reaches the other ends of the cosmos. When you're creating that kind of energy and practice and being nice and giving to people and compliments. All of those things are they just feel so right.
They sure do.
And we just need to be reminded of that. So thank you again.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye. Are we going to see you in Zoom?
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, bye. Okay, gosh, what a great talk. So it is time for our announcements. And the first one is our minister update. If we could, let's see. Marina, yes, yeah, it's good. You read my mind. I'm sending the mind. So our candidate experience with Joe was extremely successful. Our members in attendance, we all voted in support of Reverend Joe as a formal candidate, and the core council and Reverend Joe Kovach are now scheduled for negotiations. And we're going to get into the specifics of the actual contract and the agreement and the application that Joe responded to. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that. We're really looking forward to how this process unfolds and what's next. So now it is time for our tithing and offerings, which is a critical part. We don't have a center right now, but we are, in consciousness, we have a center. I mean, the truth is there is a center in mind right now for us. And it manifests itself through us, through all of us. And this is where this little particular slide is so important for our viewers, is that to keep us going, to pay for the services, to pay for our Zoom program and our Sunday talk that we do here online, and to get ready and prepared for a minister. We don't need your support. We desire that you are wishing and loving and want to give to us. So please, there's several different ways you can do it. You can go to CSLSG.org. You can actually send a check by snail mail to PO Box 3132 in St. George, 84771. Or you can use technology, and you take your phone and take a picture of the QR code below, and it'll take you to CSLSG.org. So in advance, we thank you. You're what keeps us going, and we so appreciate it. So we just wanted to thank those of you, several of you I know are regulars watching, that came to our labyrinth walk. And as Sue said in the beginning, it was really a lot of fun. When we gather, we're some cool people. We talk some stuff and get real deep and share, and we have really good, wonderful life experience. So come join us at our next gathering, which is going to be at Vernon Worthen Park. It's going to be Saturday, June 11th, and it'll be at 10 to 12 p.m. Weather should be probably lovely that time of day in June. So we'll see you then. And after service during the Zoom meeting, we have now made it so that if any of you would like a prayer from a practitioner, you have something that's weighing heavy on your heart, or even something joyous or fun that you're about to experience, what you can do is join us in the Zoom meeting, and then we'll put you into a breakout room. And Star, since she is our practitioner today with the invocation, she'll be the practitioner there, that you'll get a short but sweet and very powerful prayer from Star. So take advantage of that. I mean, prayers are powerful, and I think you'll enjoy it. So our book club, which I have not been to yet, but I really want to, is Mutant Message Down Under by Marla Morgan. Our book club always meets on Thursdays from 6 to 7. This book is actually being facilitated by Sue and Marina. And if you want to get the actual Zoom link to the book club meeting, you can email suegfulmer@gmail.com. It's SUEGFULLMER@gmail.com. And I guarantee you she'll send you the link. Our book clubs are very powerful. The discussions are really deep and meaningful. And I really want to get there the next week. So our community care and support team, or community care circle actually, is always available. And that is if there's something in life challenge, or if there's just something that you could use some compassionate support through, there's so many different things. If you have someone that's home alone or recovering that might want a card or a prayer, you just call the 435-893-6702, leave a message. You can also, if you are not comfortable joining the Zoom meeting, but you would enjoy some prayer work for yourself, you would email prayer@cslstgeorge.org, and our practitioners will monitor that, and we as a group will provide you with your prayer requests. As we do every Sunday, our noon after service Zoom meeting will be happening today in about 15 minutes. Steph has said that she will be there to join us. We can talk about the conversation the lesson that she shared with us, and then we can just get acquainted and be familiar and be in community. We, as Center for Spiritual Living, the organization, and CSL St. George Interfaith Council, there's different kinds of humanitarian programs or service opportunities or ops that you can participate in. There's a humanitarian relief program effort for Ukraine. There's Reach for Hope, and that's a suicide prevention program. There's actually, I can't read that very well, but there's a Latin, Spanish-speaking, it's a program that offers English classes. There's just a plethora. There's Camp Cedar Ridge, which is our brand new, we actually closed on, thank you, Marina. CSL just purchased Camp Cedar Ridge in Vernonia, Oregon. It's an amazing place. Google it, look it up. It's a retreat center where our young adults are going to meet there in the summer. And there's just no telling the possibilities that's going to happen there. But anyway, if you really have that feeling that you want to really contribute or be a part of service to communities in any way, shape, or form, touch base and we'll get you there. So next Sunday, our speaker is Reverend Savannah Noel. She's a darling young minister, super powerful speaker, and she's got the topic of looking anger in the eye. Oh, that'll be a fun one, looking anger in the eye. I know how to look anger in the eye, but I want to know about looking anger in the eye. And then the following week is Eugene Holden, another regular, both our regular speakers. And he's going to be talking about low tide or high tide. I don't know where they come up with these topics, but when you get these talk topics as a minister or a guest speaker, you just get to do all this research and figure out what your talk is going to be. It's a lot of fun. So now it's time for our closing affirmation, and Marina will be popping all our lovely faces back into the Zoom meeting. I think everybody's here. We're going to read the closing affirmation together.
All right. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do.
I am it, I embrace it, and I share it.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is becoming.
Thank
Thank you,
Life.
life.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks
Join
for
us
being
on
here.
Zoom.
Thanks,
Been
everyone.
fun.
Thank you.
Happy
Bye,
Sunday.
everybody.
Bye-bye.